In 1988, someone greenlit a movie where alien clowns shoot people with popcorn guns. A year later, someone else made a movie with a live scarecrow used for a fellatio experiment. These are real 80s films that actually got made, and I guarantee you haven't seen at least 5 of them. Larry Cohen got fired off a movie called I, the Jury. Most directors would take some time off, maybe sulk for a while. Cohen went home and immediately started writing another script. He came up with this: an Aztec god living in the Chrysler Building in New York, laying eggs and eating people. Somehow they got David Carradine and Richard Roundtree playing detectives. They're trying to figure out why body parts keep raining from the sky. And then there's a down-on-his-luck pianist named Jimmy. He's so desperate for money he gets involved in a diamond heist that goes completely wrong. Jimmy ends up hiding in the Chrysler Building and stumbles right into the monster's nest. Now he's the only guy who knows where this thing lives, and he's trying to negotiate with the cops for immunity and reward money while people are still getting chomped. The creature effects are pure Ray Harryhausen-style stop motion, which looked dated even in 1982. Cohen shot the whole thing fast and cheap, filled it with witty dialogue, and somehow turned getting fired into making one of the weirdest monster movies ever made. Alex Cox made Repo Man and Sid and Nancy, both pretty serious cult films. Then he decided to make a spaghetti western. It stars Joe Strummer from The Clash, a pre-fame Courtney Love, and a bunch of drunk hitmen. 3 guys botch a job and end up in this nameless Mexican town that feels completely cut off from reality. There's a gang of cowboys who are all addicted to coffee. There's a guy running a hot dog stand who keeps getting bullied. And there's just nothing happening. It's like a hangout movie set in the Wild West where everyone's waiting for something to happen. Cox took the Sergio Leone aesthetic and turned it into this punk rock fever dream. Most of the movie is just people wandering around a weird town having strange interactions. Then the last 20 minutes turn into The Wild Bunch. Everyone starts shooting at each other in this massive violent finale where basically everybody dies. You can actually tell Cox didn't care if it made sense or if people liked it. He just wanted to make a spaghetti western with Joe Strummer. Someone watched the 1920 silent German horror classic The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and thought, I should make a sequel to that, but make it a surrealistic erotic movie with a scarecrow fellatio experiment. That someone was Steven Sayadian, and Dr. Caligari is what he made. The movie takes place in an insane asylum that looks like a stage production designed by someone on acid. Bright primary colors everywhere, props that don't make sense, and some weird dialogue. The granddaughter of the original Dr. Caligari runs the place and does experiments that get progressively weirder. None of it follows a coherent story because Sayadian wasn't interested in that. He wanted to make something that felt like a hallucination you couldn't shake. It's pure avant-garde horror. It's not for everyone, obviously. You either surrender to the weirdness or you turn it off in the first 10 minutes.
100% glandular extract from Dr. Caligari I.
Stephen Chiodo had a pitch. What if aliens came to Earth, but instead of looking like typical movie aliens, they looked like circus clowns? And what if instead of laser guns, they had popcorn guns? And what if they wrapped people in cotton candy cocoons? And someone said yes to all of this. The killer clowns arrive in a spaceship shaped like a circus tent. They've got exaggerated makeup, colorful costumes, and a live balloon dog. They do tricks like shadow puppets on the wall that come alive and eat people. They're here to kill everyone, but they're doing it with props from a birthday party. The whole movie leans hard into cheesy 80s slasher vibes mixed with campy humor. It knows exactly how ridiculous it is and just commits. One of the clowns can make shadow puppets with hand gestures that become real and swallow humans whole. Another one shoots people with a gun that fires popcorn. It's gleefully stupid, and somehow it works, because it never apologizes for what it is. After a nuclear war, most men are sterile. Roddy Piper plays Sam Hell, one of the last fertile guys on Earth. The government makes him their property, forces him to wear a chastity belt with an electroshock system to keep him under control, and sends him on a mission to a place called Frogtown. His job is to rescue fertile women being held hostage by mutant frog people and impregnate them to repopulate humanity. That's the actual plot. Roddy Piper, the wrestler, plays this completely deadpan. He's a reluctant hero who just wants to be left alone, but he's stuck in this absurd situation. The movie takes its ridiculous premise and just runs with all of it, including government-mandated impregnation missions. It doesn't try to be clever or satirical, it just embraces being a goofy post-apocalyptic adventure movie with a wrestler fighting frog people. It was silly enough and successful enough that it got 2 sequels.
No private part is allowed in Frogtown. Toadies law.
After The Fly, Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum reunited for something completely different. She plays a manicurist whose boyfriend is cheating on her. 3 furry aliens crash their spaceship into her swimming pool. The aliens are played by Jeff Goldblum, Jim Carrey, and Damon Wayans. The aliens get makeovers, turn into humans, and Gina Davis falls in love with Goldblum's character. That's the movie. This was before Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey and before Damon Wayans was famous. They're both doing early versions of their comedy styles as comic relief aliens learning about Earth. There are musical numbers. There's a fish-out-of-water romance. It's pure 80s cheese on a completely absurd level. Director Julian Temple made it as a colorful, silly sci-fi musical romantic comedy. And what's great here is that Davis and Goldblum have enough chemistry to sell the whole ridiculous premise. It shouldn't work, but somehow it does because everyone involved committed to the bit.